Woohoo! All right, I think we are live. I got the green light from YouTube. Excellent connection, that's what we like to see. What's up, everyone? Good morning. I'm still posting a few more things right now. So we're looking at PHIO, we're looking at HEPA, which is, I think, going to be the main one we're looking at. I already got it on the chart, and then KZIA. And interesting that that was not on my screener, but I found it on another screener that I use on FinViz. So we'll throw up that one as well. Quick little introduction, guys. My name's Alex Winkler. Usually around 9:15 we start these live streams, then we'll trade around 30 minutes for the market open, depending if I'm in a trade or whatnot. This is about momentum trading, and the main strategy that I use is called the gap and go strategy. I'm going to come out with a video about that later today, so definitely stay tuned. It's going to be good. I think you're going to really like it. And then this is the $25,000 challenge, which if you want to learn more about, there's a link in the video description below for that as well. On average, we have 9 trades per week because we're trading in the pattern day trader rule, which means I have to really make that work. We have a cash account, which we alternate the position sizes. So we basically trade 50% of the cash account every day if there's a trade available. And then we also have a margin account, which gives us 3 trades per week. So that's a little bit of introduction. Again, if you guys are new here, or if you're not new here, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you find this content valuable, and you will support this $25,000 journey. So let's dive into the markets. Let me quickly switch my screen, and one quick second. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Angel. Looks like Heiko's in the chat as well. I'll look at FCEL. Let's check it out. I'll add it to the, is my screen already switched? Yes, it is. Let's just add that one to the list. I think it already is on the list because we were looking at it yesterday. Nope, wasn't on the list. All right, pretty nice bounce it's having. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is stuck in the, yeah, they had a reverse split. These guys probably need to get back above the $1. They're a NASDAQ stock. They're going to get delisted if they don't get above $1. So they're probably promoting hard right now. I bet you they have some really shady financing going on as well. But yeah, pretty nice pre-market. Maybe a little bit overextended, but we'll see. The big one I want to look at right now is HEPA. Very small float, 3.4 million float. Well, actually, that's the shares traded. Their float, let me just quickly bring it up over here. So which one are we looking at? We're looking at HEPA. Let me just bring this over. Whoa, why is it completely frozen? FinViz has these really obnoxious ads that pop up all the time. Yeah, tiny float here, 3.3 million, which yeah, it's basically similar to their outstanding shares, which means there's really no institutions touching this one. Pharmaceutical, but they're up on, what was it again? Let's quickly check here. Rockets after upbeat results of preclinical study of liver cirrhosis treatment. I hope I'm saying all those words right. Okay, so the good news there for sure. Let's see. Upbeat results. I usually don't hear that lingo. Okay, so well, good results, low float, it's good PR, kind of big sell-off overall. I mean, but it has a history of spiking, somewhat of a bottom here. Overall, I really like this one. I didn't check their financials yet, so that's the one thing I didn't go through. Good morning, Sebastian, as well. Let's hope so. Let's hope for the best. We just gotta, remain calm, and I think we'll find it. What I like about HEPA is we have this morning gap up, and we're holding the gap very, very nicely. So we're not having a big sell-off. On the scanner this morning, the gap scanner, a lot of the things that we were looking at were just completely selling off. I think ENLV is a good example of that. We had a little bit of gap up here and then completely sold off. Don't really like it. OCGN, this thing's all over the place, gapped up, crashed back down. It's also not exactly in the price range you want to trade. TNXP was in the price range, but then completely got crushed. This thing is dying slowly. So it's really HEPA and PHIO that we're looking at today. And whoops, wrong chart. So we got another, what do we got? We actually got plenty of time. We got another 8 minutes till the market opens. No stress. So with this one, I'm really looking for to see us break these former highs. So if you go here to the 1 minute chart, I know you guys on the phone, this is really, really tough for you guys to see, but we are at 4.34. So we are already past a lot of these former highs over here in the last few days. So there's a lot of resistance at around 3.5, and you can see once we broke 3.5, this was a really big area. We kind of consolidated here, came back to it, broke a little below it, but then new support came back up. Now we're kind of holding this high. The big spike closed at 4.29 closed at 4.29. It opened a little bit lower at about 3.59. So it had about a nice dollar rally, but it wasn't really able to hold its gains, and basically the next day completely got crushed. I just mixed that up. It opened at about $4 right here, 4.13, and then closed at 3.6 or something like that. I just mixed those two entries up. So today it might try to break to new all-time highs. Let's see what's going to happen. So if it opened at 4 last time, that was a pretty high. That was a pretty solid gap up, around 4.18. And right now it's above that. So let's see where it opens at today. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somewhere close to the 4, and then it really tried to rally hard and get past maybe this $5.50. That's going to be a lot of resistance. The 5 kind of 36. Mid to high 5s is definitely going to be a big resistance zone. I'm just going to go ahead and draw that line there so we don't forget that. So this is definitely going to be the main one on our radar. When I switch around too much during the trading day, sometimes I put myself in a bad position. So I think I'm going to be a little bit more focused on exactly this one. And then I do want to kind of throw up PHIO very quickly, just kind of talk about it a little bit. So PHIO had this really nice, after hours rally, but then it, sold off pretty heavy. Let's see if we can kind of get that sell off. About 13-15% sell off. Kind of found some support here at the 1.4 area where there was this kind of previous area before the really big dip. And so I don't know, this one, it's a little bit way under our price range. We like to trade stuff over $1 for this strategy. It basically, the order book is a little bit more consistent. There's less spread between the bid and the ask, so it's a bit more consistent. So I'm not really sure if we're going to be trading this one, although it would be kind of cool. Let's see what happens. I mean, if there's a perfect setup that really starts forming on the 5 minute, I think then I would probably pull the trigger on this one, but that's not really where my goals are today. Ooh, it is cold in here. I didn't put a sweater on yet. I'm kind of freezing, I'm not gonna lie. Then we also have KZIA, which had a really big rally yesterday. I just kind of threw it on the chart because, I saw Finviz was talking about it, and then there's kind of some general hype around it. It's exactly where we want it, but a little around the $5 area. It's got a pretty good dollar volume, 46 million market cap, 6.2 million shares. Outstanding shares. This is exactly what we're looking for. So, we kind of missed it yesterday because it wasn't really doing much pre-market. It really kind of opened up and spiked and then, hit the ground running. So we completely missed this one. That's just how it is sometimes. So, really big support here at the 5.5 area, and all these little bounces, they're just huge bounces. I mean, this one right here alone is 20%. It looks like nothing, but really interesting. So I think KZIA will probably find some support around $5. Let's go ahead and check them out a little bit. 4.3 million float. That's really nice. Wins an award from PR Newswire reports that due to reports new data from clinical trial on childhood brain cancer. It's pretty interesting. It sounds like good stuff they're working on. They raised another 4 million. Now the question is, how did they raise this money? Because that's really something to consider there. If we dove into their financials, which in the next 3 minutes, I don't know if we have time for, but you know, we could try very quickly. It could have been some really shady practice, institutional, where they're just gonna dump on retail traders. So no warrants, executed premiums. I gotta actually check this out. I'm generally curious now. They got me thinking, what could all this mean? Let's check out their disclosure. They should have, this is not recent enough. So usually we would go to a 10Q to figure this out, what kind of warrants they have out or what executable price that these investors have. We figured that out yesterday and with this company. Which one is it? I'll talk about that actually in a different video. I don't want to kind of confuse us today, but basically yesterday, FUV, which Angel, you called out, we checked out their financials yesterday and they had so many warrants out, which basically means debt financing where they sell shares at a discount to institutions, and these institutions prop up the price and they dump that price on the retail investors. And that's why FUV had a massive crash yesterday. It tried to spike up, and that executable price, if I remember, was what was it? It was actually in the high twos, if I remember properly. Anyway, we had a big run through there, and then ever since, you know, those shares were now able to sell into the market. You can see that happened, and it was dumped pretty extremely. I mean, these whoever bought here just got completely crushed. So, all right, let's get ready for the opening bell. We got 11 seconds, and let's put back on our HEPA, H-E-P-A. This is going to be the main one we are looking at. And here we go. A little bit of morning panic already. I'm not buying, I'm just checking out what some of these prices are here. 250. Okay, that's obviously not what we want. This one probably is going to look pretty good on the tick chart, to be honest. Looks like some big support here at the high fours. This might be a green to red move. Los geht's, Leute. If this $4 area holds, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a nice green to red move. Good catalyst. Let's keep following it. If we break out of this area at the 412, I wouldn't mind getting in. Let's see if we can do it. Small loss on this one, $35 loss. I think this is the that's the green to red. That's the red to green move that we just missed. You know what? I think this is going to pull up very nicely. If I had one more trade, I would be getting in right now. I was just a little too early on this one. That last little dip got me off guard. I had to cut my losses though. These things are up really, really high. And you just don't want to be on the wrong side of these trades. That's unfortunate. But you know what? I'm pretty happy that we cut our losses very quickly. You don't know how fast these things can drop. I should have been a little bit more patient on this one. I should have waited until there was a bit better of a price breakout. So for example, I should have waited maybe for a 4.2 breakout, maybe a pullback back to 4.2, 4.3, and then entered there. But you know, I'm still somewhat new to this pattern in this chart, so that's what these next few weeks are all about. I got to master that. I just got to study more chart patterns. That one really, I wouldn't say that went really quick, but I could have probably been a little bit more relaxed. But I think that move was, you know, pretty interesting, and I'm not really too disappointed with it. That was a really quick one. That was pretty exciting. 35, you know, small loss, 3% loss, about 3.5% loss. So our losses are getting better and our wins are getting better as well. So our losses are getting smaller and our wins are getting bigger. Our ratio is much better than October. That was just kind of right out of the gate. And then, you know, we didn't really get what we were looking for. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys have not done so already. Okay, so let's see what else is moving. Let's see if we would have been better off in some of these other moves. So we have this morning panic right here with PHIO, just like the HEPA. About a 10% morning panic. This could be a green to red move as well. I really generally believe that HEPA will have a super nice green to red move. I just couldn't take that risk to hold it through. We would have to hold for quite some time, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. This could be the green to red move right here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. FCEL, let's check out what Angel's looking at. This one's holding its highs very nicely, actually. And I think there's a good chance it's going to go above, you know, 1 if it has the right promotion behind it, because this stock needs to go over 1, or else it's going to get delisted. It probably already got a nice little fat delisting notice. I should have waited till there was something really, really specific that we trade. So when I come out with that video later today, I'm going to be talking about these 6 different types of entries we could be looking for this gap and go strategy. One of the ones I was looking for today was the green to red move, which maybe we got a false indicator because we were a bit too zoomed in. But you know, we were holding VWAP here. There was a bit of selling pressure, unfortunately. And then ultimately it just kind of got crushed. We cut our losses quick though. So what are you going to do? Definitely. I think just, you know, patience on that one probably would have been the only thing. Although sometimes you miss some really nice runners because you're too patient. That actually happened to me like a week in a row. I was overly patient on all of the morning moves, and I missed basically all of them. this might be kind of a short live stream because, the trading's more or less over, but I want to kind of, watch the market a little bit. And I want to think about what would be another trade to get into if we had the possibility. I just want to kind of, get market exposure, just market screen time, I guess you can call it. I just want to get some screen time in, kind of study the charts a little bit, understand what's going on, and kind of be ready for tomorrow, be ready for the next day, and just kind of make progress. So this week so far, we're a little bit in the red, but that's fine. We tried to break higher here, but it didn't really work. So maybe it's good I only had one trade. I probably would have got faked out on the second trade. This thing's moving quick. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart. Looks like we kind of bought early in terms of, coming down here, morning panic. And really it was just kind of a bounce, a failed bounce under the VWAP. The VWAP was new resistance. That's kind of where we sold on the way back up to VWAP. We got out of that one, closed out that trade for a small 3.5% loss, and then we kind of moved on. So I think, this could actually find some really good support here. The thing with the morning red to green, I think that I am slowly starting to learn, is that you don't really want to trade the red to green moves until maybe like 15 minutes after the market opens. Which means like if this was, let's say, a red to green move and it made new highs above 4.5, then, the entry would be maybe in the next few minutes here. And you can see there's definitely some big support forming at 3.75. This stock was a bit overextended, I guess you can say, because it was really trading on the higher end of the pre-market range, when ideally we're looking for somewhere between, 20% down from the higher range of the pre-market. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. You can see on the right here, on the 5 minute chart, we already have two big red candles, but there's definitely some sort of support coming in here. And I think I would have to say that 3.8 would be an entry I would probably be looking to get into right now. I don't think we'll maybe get an entry. So I'd probably maybe move it up to 3.5. 3.85, which means we would have just been entered right now. So hypothetically, this would be our second trade right now, or maybe third, but so let's say 3.85. That means we would have got in right around here. And this would have got executed because the price went below 3.85. So right now we are holding above the EMA a little bit. Big sellers here at 3.88. Let's just keep watching the order book. So we got to crack through those sellers. More buyers coming in. That 3.88, 101 sellers just needs to be bought through. I think if we break through that, then we might have that green to red move that we were looking for. And here we go. There we go. There we had it. So if this was our second trade right now, we would be profitable about 3%. We wouldn't sell yet. We would obviously be looking for that bigger move back above 4. And then from there, maybe looking for exits. Ideally, we would be looking for exits around 6, 7, 8%. Somewhere between that. VWAP is kind of coming in as some bigger resistance right now. Remember, this thing has a really good catalyst. I think there's a good chance it's going to break above 4, but who knows, maybe it won't. Let's see, it didn't. Okay, now it's dipping pretty hard. So if we didn't get out of this position, this would have, you know, potentially been another loss. We would have had to get out really quickly. We were up about 3-4%. And last time this happened to us, we weren't able to get out quick enough. So that's really something to keep in mind. It's when the price dips, then sometimes it happens really, really aggressively. So yeah, this one, you know, we could have been wrong multiple times. So, you know, I guess it's not really a bad thing that we don't have unlimited trades right now, until I really become comfortable with the gap and go strategy. And right now, I think I probably would have been doing some over trading, and that's just the honest truth of the situation. So you know, in hindsight, just looking back at this, it almost feels like we traded some sort of little pennant pattern breakdown, actually. So on the 5-minute chart, you can see some support really coming in for the first time, a little bit more, since we have a double bottom right here. This stock is up 50% on the day, but it's a big red candle because it has yet to be able to hold any highs. So let's see what else we got. We got FCEL very quickly. This one's also getting sold into kind of a little downtrend. The markets are all down a little bit, about 0.2 across the board. Let's check out KZIA. This is the one yeah, okay, this one's not moving at all. So PHIO also having a morning panic. I actually really like the way this one's doing its morning panic. This is one of my favorite kind of ways to trade. It's that morning panic back down, but then holding some support zones. I got to do more homework, guys. I think I got some homework in front of me. I need to study this pattern and just kind of knock it out of the park eventually. Okay, so we have a double bottom here at 3.77. Let's see if we can break above 4. If we can break above 4, I think this one could really, you know, be green to red move, red to green move. But so far, we've been let down a few times. Here we go. All right, 418, banging through support. 12%. Whoo! This is exactly what we were looking for, guys. We were just a little bit too aggressive on this one. And you know what? I've been following Ross a lot lately. He has so many good videos. And in one of his videos, he said in the green to red move, you typically want to wait 15 minutes before after the market open, a little bit of time for it to play out. And here you can see almost perfectly that was pretty sound advice. But right now it's getting crushed again. So that would have had to be a quick exit potentially. But if we were up 9%, we would have been long gone. That's exactly what I like to get out. I get out of those positions. Usually we've been taking profits around 6-7%. Yesterday was a 7% profit trade. I rarely hold into the double digits just because I know I need to be a little quicker right now just to take profits when I have them. So yeah, I mean, that could have been a profitable trade today if we just waited a little bit longer. We waited for that support to come in, then we sold on the support. Now it didn't break that 4.4 area, but this trade ultimately could have worked in our favor. So just the timing was wrong on it. The timing was a little bit off, so that's a bit unfortunate. I think we could have easily walked away with this from this trade profitable. Again, the 3.75 area is holding extremely well. That was quite the movement to the upside right here. This was a big old burst. %10 move right there. Would have had to been more patient on the HEPA entry. You know, I was too ready for a reversal and I rushed that trade. Again, I guess my patience got me again this time. So we're still a little bit down this week. Happens. We're gonna get it though. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get our own green to red move. We're still green on the month though, so that's good. I'm gonna watch this just a little bit longer. That way I can use it for study material in the future. And if you guys find this information valuable too, then you can use it as study material as well. I think I've watched all of my recaps about 3 times. If you watch it on ×2 speed, it goes pretty fast, and you can always slow it down when something gets a little intense. Let's give it a few more minutes and see how this plays out. Also, I want to thank you guys for dropping in. It's always good to see you guys in the group, in the chat. That was a pretty ferocious little rip to the upside. 12% rip. That would have been phenomenal. So let's check out some of these potential entries. I mean, our entry really on the tick chart was a little bit choppy. It was a little bit all over the place. There wasn't, you know, a clear pattern forming. So I'm not overly proud of that setup. This was all, again, you know, not really too clear, although there was the time we were looking to get in right here at the 8.5. And that would have been around a 4% profit if we got out. Otherwise, you know, we might have took a small 1% loss, 1 or 1.8% loss on that one. Then as the price was coming up here, formed a little bit, very tiny flag here. And then it started consolidating in this area. And I think this area would have been really interesting to look into adding into our position, or at least starting position. That would have been a nice little rip to the upside. Sell near VWAPs, sell near the highs. So that probably would have been the best trade of the day. Just kind of waiting for that that little breakout at 4. Would have had to be really, really quick with the order button on that one. I think we're gonna have to start starting these live streams out with a little bit of meditation or like a little yoga session first, because every time I enter a trade a little bit too quickly, I feel like I don't have the best success. Although the week before that, I could have entered most of my trades earlier, or been a little bit more aggressive, but it was a little bit different of a strategy, so I can't really compare those too much. It's not really apples to apples. This looks like there might be a push here over 4. Let's see what happens. 3.9. 3.94, 3.93. No, this thing just keeps getting rejected. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart quickly, just see what some of these activities look like. This was a really nice bounce by PHIO. Really, really nice. Looks like HEPA is ripping back to the upside. Again, completely gets rejected. This looks pretty tough to trade, I'm not gonna lie. This one's probably got a few people on the wrong side of the move. And the reason I say that is just because it has all these failed breakouts. It's got candles with huge wicks. So yeah, I think there's probably been a lot of people going on the wrong side of this trade, but you know, good fun to watch. I definitely enjoy it. It's quite exciting. So yeah, down a little 35 bucks this week. Not really the best, but that's just how it is. Or for today. You know, small loss though, so it's really not that bad. I'm happy, you know, we cut our losses quickly. That's really what it's all about. I probably could have been a little bit more aggressive with getting out of the trade. I kind of hesitated for a second at the $4. So I think we could have got out even early, around 4.05, something like that, if I was just a bit quicker on it. It's just, you know, I've mentioned this before, it's that only having that one trade a day sometimes makes you a bit more hesitant to pull the trigger on getting out and calling, you know, cutting your losses, because you're just, you're like, you know, this could turn around, and, you know, it could have. So 412, I mean, we could have, in theory, sold this for a small profit. That probably would have never happened, but yeah, in theory, we could have got out as a profit. And you just don't really know how hard these things can run. So today, it doesn't seem like things are really running as hard as we would want them to, but there's definitely some sort of base forming here, and you can't really deny that. You can see on the 5 minute, we've hit this kind of base area about 3.75 to 3.8 multiple times now. But I think the fact also that this thing has been rejected in this area, the last time it tried to spike, it was a complete disaster. I think that might also scare some traders a little bit as well. Okay, so now we're getting some push to the upside here at $4. This thing has a tiny float too, so just the way this thing trades is kind of intense. If you just see it on the tick view, it's just all over the place. Really aggressive. It seems to be holding this area actually a little bit. Let's go back to the minute. A little bit of upward momentum here, 3 green candles. But the volume, the buying volume is not overwhelming yet. I think we would really need to see some buying volume over 0.5 million, so 500,000 shares. Let's see if we can get that. I think if we don't really get that, I think this thing won't really go back up, but let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Back above 4. 4.05. All right, here we go. Whew, just completely gets crushed so fast. I'm I'm actually kind of relieved that we can't trade this one anymore today. It's probably kept me from making some really silly mistakes. And I think a stock like this you can very quickly get a little over emotional. You can over trade it. Just really just one more for the education library, I think. All these little breakouts just keep getting completely crushed. Again, the volume didn't really go over that 500,000 that we were looking for, but there is a steady uptrend, so this could still turn out to be green to red. I mean, a red to green. I don't know why I mix that up all the time. This could really end up being a nice red to green. Here we go. A lot of pressure coming in. 4.2. Whew, can we break through it? This thing moves so quick on the order book. Remember to drop a like if you guys are liking this kind of content. We go live every trading day at 9:15, and we trade about the first 30 minutes of the market open. So we're probably going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes here, but right now I'm just looking at where I would have done another entry if we had another trade available, but right now we don't. Holding its high is quite nice here at the 4 kind of 10 area. Here we go, breakout from 416. Limit order here at the 416 would be an interesting way to trade this breakout. Or would we just be getting stuck in a fake out? That's really the big question. It looks like whoever traded that breakout is now trying to cover their oh, ooh, that was just yeah, I'm happy we're not trading this one. I think the way this one's moving would have caught me on the wrong side one too many times today. I would have really liked and just generally enjoyed trading this one by looking for those key support areas and entering on the support in a form of a more relaxed kind of morning panic way to trade. I think that's definitely how I would have took this one. Anything that doesn't pop to the upside right out of the gate, to me is more of a morning panic. And when I trade morning panics, I really need to understand that I just need to be way more chill. So I think that was the biggest takeaway for today, is just if it's not breaking to the upside, which is the classic gap and go strategy, and we're not breaking new highs, we're not making bull flags, then I need to look, take a few steps back, look for some major support lines, ideally where it, has a significant double test. Here we've tested this area multiple times, down here once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, almost 6 times, I would say. And then, we're slowly starting to curl back to the upside. And then, we're already up 12% from this. So this could have definitely been, and like right now we'd be closing out our position, right? And if we think we could break out, then maybe close half the position. But that would have been, I think, a really good risk reward trade. Right around here at 3.75, there's good support. And now you could be trading the breakout. So now we broke out of 4.3. Let's see if we have another run here. The pullbacks are a bit harder on this stock. Looks like we're going to break past the 4.4. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I mean, if we just held through all this nonsense, which I mean, we definitely would never do, we'd be up 10%. That would be a extremely risky thing to do. Interesting little channel that it's forming. Let's see if it has one more test here at 4.25. Looks like it's slowly building some more momentum. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart. You can see this momentum here. Okay, now we're having that big, this is the green to red move that we were looking for. Yeah, we just completely missed this one. Exactly what we were looking for too. I mean, this is did it perfectly. Our entry was just not where it should have been. So I got my homework cut out for me. I gotta study this pattern a little bit more. The red to green, I keep saying green to red, but the red to green. All right, here we go. Now we're getting this nice big run. Now we're officially green on the day, and this thing will probably, go up to 5, see if there's some resistance at 5, and then who knows what's going to happen. Right now, it's having a hard time breaking past 4.5, but, if it can break past 4.5, I wouldn't be surprised if it kept running from there. A little stressful thinking, or basically knowing almost for a fact that, we could have been green on the day on this one by a really nice margin. Let's quickly look at the tick chart a little bit. I think the tick chart would probably be, making me fake out left and right. Looks like this could be the first pullback right here. $4.3. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite excited for us to get another red to green setup later on. Now there's a few ways we probably could have traded this one. At the 4.35 could have been a potential entry. When we broke out of this area and we kind of dipped back under it, but that, the profit potential on that one is a little bit less. But I really would have liked to kind of do what we were doing, but just be a little bit more patient on it and, wait for these little lower numbers here around the 3.8. So on the 5 minute, we might be having a nice little pullback here. And if the next 5 minute candle is green, starts moving to the upside, that could be the big break past 4.6. So yeah, just being patient, I think, again, like always, seems to be the big takeaway at the end of the day. I think we picked the right stock. I mean, HEPA is exactly what we were looking for. It fits all the criteria. Did exactly the pattern that, I'm working on. I'm hammering out a variation that I haven't really done before in a while. But ultimately, everything's there. So I should have just took it a gear back, kind of been a little bit more relaxed, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, you know, I'm happy I cut my losses really quickly. That's always a good idea. You know, in this case, if we just held through it, we'd be up quite nicely. You know, if we just blindly held, we'd be up over at 10% at one point. A little bit more like 6% right now, but that's not really what we're trying to do. That would be completely gambling, since that would just be pure hope, right? And that would just be like, oh, I hope it doesn't just keep going down in the next 30, 45 minutes. We're looking for a clear breakout right away. If it doesn't happen, we're out, and that's what we did. So followed our strategy to the T, and you can't really be disappointed with that. Let's see if we get a little crack to the upside, and after that, I'll be wrapping up the stream. Definitely go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon too if you guys have not already, because later today we're going to be coming out with a new video about this strategy. It's a momentum trading strategy, and in a nutshell, it's called the gap and go. And there's a few different variations on the entry. So there's 6 different types of entries you can be looking for. So we really want to kind of, you know, keep digging through that. And really become proficient with each and every one of them. Proficient. We just want to have them nailed into the back of our mind, so we're always ready to go. So guys, this could be another breakout right here. Let's see what happens. I mean, we had that nice little dip down. We had a breakout. We came back, retested the support level. The support level seems to be there. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, maybe the price came a little bit closer to the EMA a little bit, the 15 tick EMA, found some support, found some new buyers before the breakout. So again, guys, let's keep a close eye on this one. In the next few minutes, we will know. We'll have our answer. Yeah, we could have been up really nicely on this trade. This could have easily been a 10% plus gainer. We were just a little bit more chill. All right, so we got the volume dipping. And now we need a nice big green candle to really pop us onto the next side and have a nice little breakout. So let's see what happens. I mean, the EMA, I mean, is looking pretty good right now. Okay, so we got the second 5-minute candle forming right now. This is the make it or break it spot right here. Can we break out? If we can, I think this is going to be a phenomenal red to green move. We had a nice little dip down in the morning. We found some really nice support at 3.8. Touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the 5-minute. Just basically for a whole half hour, we were kind of just chilling in that area. Then we broke out past the former high with pretty good volume. So we broke out past the pre-market high. We're now green on the day. And we bounced off of the pre-market high, the 4.3 zone. So we had a nice little breakout, break past the 4.3 pre-market high. We came back down to that area. We tested it. And at the same time, the EMA moving average is moving up to really give it some really nice support right now. I think there's many signs that this thing could really break to the upside. Now, how would we trade this? I think this thing might just break out before I answer that question, but ultimately you can see a trend moving here to the downside. You can see support forming here, and it looks like any entry at this point would be a nice little breakout of this continuation bull flag. So I think anything around 4.3 4.42, which would be right now. This would be an entry. Boom. Let's say we entered right now. Let's see what happens. This would be a super smooth entry. Ideal exit, you know, 20, 30 cents. 40 cents, even better. 40 cents, then we would be looking for the high fours to get out of this trade. Let's see what happens. I mean, this thing has needs to really run to prove itself. So right now, there's still no volume coming in. Big resistance at the 4.5. Huge, 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 huge resistance. But if it breaks that area, I think then we are golden. Wow, that was a serious crush on that one. So, boom, you had that one opportunity to cut losses, I guess, huh? Again, I mean, I think we were saved by the pattern day trader rule this time. Usually not so much. Usually I get pretty annoyed at it, but today, I don't know. Like, I think this would have been the nice trade, the one we were talking about the whole time, buying in the 3.8s. But that breakout trade right there would have caught us on the wrong side, hands down. That's why trading those breakouts, especially under those whole numbers, kind of like 0.5 or a whole dollar, something like, you know, $5 or $5.5, those will have a lot of resistance. People want to take profits there. They're just those psychological levels. So you can see that time it would have not worked out at all. There was a big crash in this area. So really interesting, just kind of, you know, sit back. You know, if you have a small account, and just like we're doing this small account challenge and we want to grow our $4,000 to $25,000, you know, you could take these moments where you can't trade and just kind of relax and sit back and pop some popcorn and just try to learn as much as you can. That's really all that we can do right now. And I think today is the perfect example of, you know, watch and learn. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We're gonna leave it at that today. We are just about where are we at? We're about 57 minutes into the live stream, so we're under an hour, like we always try to do. Super, super cool. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Again, hit that like button if you have not done so already. You make my day, like always, when I see those likes coming in. And subscribe if you have not done so already. I'll be working on a video right about after this video. I'll probably make a quick lunch first, and yeah, that's about everything. Enjoy the rest of your guys' day. Stay safe, guys, and make some awesome trades. Make me proud. Till next time, guys. Till tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.